target of hoarding, even theft. This morning, with bird flu infections across the nation surging and egg supply plummeting, $6.99 for a dozen, and I said, forget about it. Egg prices are skyrocketing.
I go to the store and it's like $10 a carton. I'm like, what?
In Chino, California, a long line of motorists hoping to snag a dozen from a poultry farm wrapping around the block. Many also flocking to farmers markets.
Thank you.
How much would you say demand has gone up?
Super high.
Times 2, times 3?
Times 5, probably.
The H5N1 bird flu impacting tens of millions of farmed chickens nationwide. Egg prices up 65% in the last year. And businesses are also feeling the pressure. In Washington State, police are investigating this brazen theft after they say suspects stole more than 500 eggs from a local cafe. And that 50-cent surcharge Waffle House added per egg, now in the menu. And in LA, Cantor's Deli, a business for over a century, staggered by those egg prices.
If you go back to like October, we were paying $10,000, $11,000 in November. We get the bill for January. For December, it's $24,500, and that was like a shock.
A business has been in business for 105 years, now can't break even.
Not just simply because of the eggs. That's enough to do it.
And egg prices could go up another 20% this year, according to the Department of Agriculture. And because of the life cycle of hens, it would likely be another 6 months before new healthy flocks mature and prices stabilize. And that's assuming that there are no additional bird flu outbreaks, which itself is not entirely likely. So breakfast might continue to look a little different for a while, guys.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the 2 American women who were bitten by a shark in the Bahamas. They were airlifted to the hospital, recovering now. Eva Pilgrim has the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. It was a fun day that took a frightening turn. 2 Florida women literally steps from getting back on a boat bitten by a shark. This morning, they tell us they know they are lucky to be alive. This morning, shark attack in the Bahamas. 20-year-old Riley Decker was on vacation, singing and dancing on a boat in Bimini Bay when she and her 24-year-old friend, Summer Lehman, decided to go for a swim.
We were swimming to the ladder, and I kind of felt something nudge my leg, and I looked at her and I was like, what was that? And we kept swimming, and then I felt a tug on my leg, and I knew right then and there that I was bit.
Their friends racing to get them to safety.
Our friend Austin, he pulled, but I had no strength in my leg, so I couldn't get myself up. So he grabbed me and he pulled me on top of the boat. He wrapped the towel around my leg and a rope for a tourniquet and held it until the medical professionals could come and help me.
Riley thinks she was bitten by a bull shark.
It was very scary, and the fear of thinking, you're gonna die in the moment.
While Summer turned to Riley, she didn't realize she was bitten as well. The top of her foot, likely by that same shark.
We both were panicking in that moment. I didn't realize that I got bit until they started screaming that my foot was shredded.
The 2 women eventually airlifted to hospitals in Florida. Riley has undergone 2 surgeries so far. Her family saying she will need at least a third.
All we can do now is just be grateful that we're still here, because it could have ended very differently.
This latest attack coming as the busy spring break season kicks into high gear. Though attacks are still rare, experts say warming waters are bringing sharks closer to the shore.
Most sharks are cold-blooded, and the warmer water often improves their metabolism, their functioning, and so many of them will actually go to areas that are warm water, especially in cold times of the year.
And the other thing that brings them closer to the shore, fish scraps. People go fishing and they clean their fish when they get back to the marina, and then often they dump them back into the water. So our expert warning people to be aware that can draw sharks in as well. He told us, anytime you get in the ocean, you are entering their home and they could be there.
Yeah, that is the truth. All right, thank you, Eva. Coming up later, breaking at 8, the canned tuna recall at some popular stores. And coming up next, the health company under new scrutiny after Super Bowl ad for weight loss medication. Can you do my life? have generalized myasthenia gravis. Picture what life could look like with Vyvgart Hytrulo, a subcutaneous injection that takes about 30 to 90 seconds. For one thing, could it mean more time for you? Vyvgart Hytrulo can improve daily abilities and reduce muscle weakness with a treatment plan that's personalized to you. Do not use Vyvgart Hytrulo if you have a serious allergy to any of its ingredients. It can cause serious allergic reactions like trouble breathing and decrease in blood pressure leading to fainting and allergic reactions such as rashes, swelling under the skin, shortness of breath, and hives. The most common side effects are respiratory and urinary tract infections, headache, and injection site reactions. It may increase the risk of infusion-related reactions and infection. Tell your doctor if you have a history of infections or symptoms of an infection. Talk to your neurologist about Vyvgart Hytrulo for GMG and picture your life in motion.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal.
If you don't have the right auto coverage, this can really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money. Be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
La Roche-Posay, Dark Spot Revolution. LW3 Serum, 85% sugar reduction in the look of persistent dark spots. Powered by multi-patented medicine for all skin tones. La Roche-Posay.
This President's Day, feel the freedom to style new space and modular sectionals starting at $699.98 now at Ashley. Plus, pay over time with 0% interest for 60 months. Shop in-store or online. Only at Ashley.
Is your asthma rescue a dinosaur? Air Super is the only asthma rescue inhaler FDA approved to treat symptoms and help prevent asthma attacks. Air Super should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic reactions like rash, mouth or tongue swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing, or chest pain. Using Air Super more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections or heart problems like faster heart rate and higher blood pressure. Ask your doctor if Air Super is right for you.
Do you see truth?
You mentioned it, but what are some of the big categories to be looking for?
Yeah, well, mattresses are a big one. So we saw 35 to 50% off some big name mattresses, like, for example, Dream Cloud, as well as Casper. But I want to mention that tech is another big category where you'll see some deals as well. We saw AirPods that were actually on sale for about $30 off on Amazon. These are the regular AirPods, not the AirPods Pros, but nonetheless, still a good price there. And look, if you're watching the Super Bowl this weekend and saying, you know, this TV just isn't doing it for me, well, you could get a pretty good discount as well. We saw some Samsung TVs that were over $2,000 off. And also appliances, again, as I mentioned, that's a good time, like right now, to buy an appliance, especially ahead of potentially what could be some steel tariffs. I want to point out, but we're seeing up to 35, 40% off at Home Depots and Lowe's on some washing machines.
I heard those cheap 3P t-shirts are cheap.
Yeah, you get a good discount. Although you might have to go overseas and pick them up.
What about some other just quick pro tips for people who want to maximize their shopping?
Yeah, well, we spoke to Trey Bodge, a friend of the show, and we asked her for some tips when it comes to shopping on this President's Day weekend. She said, first off, you might want to wait until Prime Day, which comes up in the summer, right? That's the Amazon deal day for some tech products. Even though we did see those AirPods on sale, you can maybe even wait, play chicken a little bit, and get an even better discount later on. Wait until Monday itself for toys. This is really interesting because
touting the company's weight loss drug as a less expensive alternative to medications like Ozempic and Wegovy. They're affordable, doctor-trusted. Hims & Hers drug is compounded, meaning it combines or mixes multiple drugs to create a tailor-made medication. So it isn't required to go through the FDA's rigorous approval process. The maker of Ozempic and Wegovy firing back in a full-page ad Monday, writing, "Do you really know what you're injecting into your body?" Two senators blasting Hims & Hers for failing to include side effect disclosure, risk, or safety information as would typically be required in a pharmaceutical advertisement.
But that Hims & Hers ad? Whoa, diabolical.
Some viewers were also put off, saying the ad encouraged fat shaming and depicted weight loss drugs as a silver bullet for America's obesity epidemic.
Hims & Hers is not going to fix the food in our country.
In a statement to ABC News, Hims & Hers saying, "We don't believe Americans should be a certain weight or size. We take safety, quality, and transparency steps for every customer on our platform. We are complying with existing law." Now, we spoke with the chief medical officer of Hims & Hers, who says the company's compounded drugs are ultimately giving more Americans access to weight loss drugs. These copies of FDA drugs, guys, have seen a big boost in popularity amid shortages of some of those other FDA-approved options, like Ozempic and Wegovy, guys.
Okay, Elizabeth, thanks very much. Coming up later, breaking at 8, new hope when it comes to peanut allergies. And Wolverine was down at Disney World with Jalen Hurts. You had a good time.
I sure did. And of course, what do you do when you win the Super Bowl MVP? Then you go to Walt Disney World, George. And we talked winning the biggest game of his life and the photo he keeps on his phone to stay motivated. That's coming up.
I'm getting vaccinated Vyse's pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm getting Prevnar 20 because pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital, and my risk is 6 times greater because I'm over 50.
The CDC just expanded its recommendation for those 50 or older to get vaccinated. You're also at risk if you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions. Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect against both pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle and joint pain. Millions have chosen Prevnar vaccines, which have helped protect adults for over a decade and have an established safety profile.
That's why I chose Prevnar 20.
I want to be able to keep my plan.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20.
Paddington has an amazing 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. The best family film of the year.
Oh, Lucy is missing half the fight.
Charming beyond measure.
Please excuse me.
Paddington in Peru, PG Thursday.
Special K. For all the special reasons you move. Like being an absolute boss.
Body, meat face care. Dove Serum Body Wash. With active levels of skincare serums that treat your body like...
We gotta be able to do this. Like, you know, when you can't get your papers, like, this gets stuck together. It's so stressful.
You have to listen because there could be ad-libbing too, so you have to kind of know it, so you have to follow along. So there's art to it. Wall is the best, but that's not
We should have done it behind the scenes. We had to get Joe Fryer to do